Hello there guys, it's Matt here again, and welcome back for another action figure review. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the McFarlane Halo Reach Series 4 George figure. So here's the figure in the packaging, looking really awesome. So here's the figure. Now this is the unhelmeted George figure. Now I don't really like the unhelmeted figures because they don't really look accurate to the actual character, like with Carter, June and Kat. They don't really look like the characters and look kind of bad, but George looks quite cool actually. He doesn't look that bad actually, if you can see there. But the only reason I'm getting because normally I wouldn't get the unhelmeted figures, but the only reason I'm getting him because I don't have the normal George, the helmeted version, so that's why I'm getting him. That's the only reason I'm getting him, and I wouldn't be getting any of the other unhelmeted figures because I have the normal versions of them, so I'm not going to be getting them. So let's take a quick look at the packaging. The packaging is the standard Halo Reach packaging, nothing really to it. Down here you got Halo Reach, George, just see there it says Series 4, got a nice little picture of George there, 28 moving parts, George there again. You can see the figure in the packaging, look pretty cool. In the background there you got a picture of Reach, on the side there it says McFarlane Toys. And on the back of the packaging you can see the rest of the figures in this wave or series. You've got George, the Spartan EVA, Spartan ODST, Spartan CQC, Spartan Mark V, and you've also got two armor packs. You've got the UNSC Marine, the Brute Miner, the Grunt Major, and the Elite General. So a pretty decent series, and yeah, so that's the back of packaging, and that's the pretty basic packaging. The standard full stuff, and I did purchase this figure from eBay for £1.24, which is a very cheap price. So we'll put a link in the description down below if you want to purchase this figure from another website. So let's get this guy out of the packaging. Okay, so now we have George outside of the packaging. Here he is. Now this figure does have some issues, which I will go over, but it does look like a really cool figure actually. Because I don't have the normal George figure, so I didn't know really what it was like. So let's go. First thing, let's go over the accessories that he does come with. So as you can see, he does come with his chain gun, which does look very nice. And as you can see, he does hold it pretty well actually. Fits in his hands really nicely. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the chain gun. So basically, when you clip it into his hands, all you have to do is pop it into the put his this hand into that hand, the little top hook here thing, and his other hand into the back bit right here. So that's kind of simple. Putting it into his hands, quite easy. So here's the chain gun, very nicely detailed, nice paint job, really nice black wash throughout it, really nice paint job throughout the gun. Looks very nice. Feels a little bit light and a bit flimsy in this part over here, but it's not that bad. Really nice detail, pretty nice gum, so that's pretty cool. And also you do get his backpack, which has just fallen off the figure, which is very nicely painted and does have a little UNSC sticker there, which is very nicely painted actually. It does have a peg hole, and there is a peg on the back of the figure up the top here, and you just clip it in the back like so. A little bit push it in a bit, and it does stick in there quite nicely actually. The only bad thing about it is loose, and it does fall out quite easily, as it just comes out really easily. But it does look pretty cool on the back there, so that's really nice accessory there. So yeah, so let's take a close look at the figure. I'll just say one bad thing straight away. That as soon as I got it out of the packaging, there's one bad thing that I did notice, that his left arm is really loose. Like you can see that there. It's very loose, and indeed it's really bad. But that's probably the only bad thing, that it's loose, which is kind of annoying. I did check all the joints, I did go over all the joints, and they were all fine apart from this arm here, which is really bad. But yeah, so let's just go over the figure and take a closer look. So here's the head sculpt of George. It does look pretty decent to the actual character in the game. I have seen better head sculpts on figures, but this is definitely pretty good. Nice detailed sculpt work on the head. So that's pretty nice. This figure is the exact same body sculpt, exact same body figure as the original George that came out in Series 1. So I think it is anyway. I'm not sure because I don't have the original one. Also, George does have these grenade pegs on his back, around his back here, to put grenades on, but he doesn't come with any grenades, which is kind of odd. But yeah, I'll just put a point now. So let's take a closer look at the body. So this figure does have a very nice paint job. As you can see, like black wash throughout the armor. Looks very nicely detailed. Does have some like scratches, like battle damage throughout it, which is very nice. You see the top part run back here. The back bit of the armor here looks kind of plain actually, probably because you have the backpack on all the time, and but it just looks kind of plain. But the paint job throughout the armor does look very nice. Nice black wash, nice battle damage armor, and he does also have 2 peg holes on his left and right thigh, but you won't put like for other guns, sort of thing. He does also have 2 pegs, and he does have another peg here on his back, which is just standard for Halo Reach figures, which is pretty awesome. And his legs are pretty massive actually, so as you can see, really nice detail throughout the figure. It does have really nice paint job. I really like the paint job on this. Really nice paint scheme actually. It's very nice. So yeah, the armor is not removable like on the other Halo Reach figures. No, his shoulder pad's not removable. His chest isn't. So yeah, they're not removable. His head probably just pops off because that's what all Halo Reach figures are like. But I'm not going to do it because I don't do that. But yeah, so here's a really nice figure, the design. So let's go over the articulation. So his head is on a ball joint, I think, but it's very stiff. Moves left and right very hard actually. It moves up and down a little bit. It doesn't move all the way around, so it's not a ball joint, it's probably just a swivel. But his arm is on a ball joint, or ratchet sort of thing. As you can see, the ratchet in there. Moves in and out around 360 degrees, in and out. His elbow is a single jointed elbow, so that just moves in and out, and also swivels at the top bit there. His wrist swivels. At the abdomen and the waist area, that just moves on a ball joint, just moves around like that. The hip, he has a single jointed ball joint, so it moves in, out, and then also swivels. Not much range of motion there, which is kind of bad. He does have a ratchet knee, so you can see the ratchet in there, which moves very nice as well, and does have a swivel at the top of the boot there. Not really boot, but like thigh. There's a swivel there. And at the ankle, there's a ratchet joint as well, so it moves in and out and also swivels as well. And he does also have toe articulation, so that's pretty decent. Yeah, so the articulation on George is pretty decent. Not the best, obviously, because he's pretty bulky figure, and but he's easy to stand up actually. You don't have to do much movement with his legs. Well, now I am, but he is pretty decent to stand up once you get him in a good position. He is really decent. So overall, I'll give this figure maybe a 4 out of 5, because his arm is really loose, and the head sculpt is pretty decent, but probably the backpack needs to go on a bit tighter because it's kind of loose. So that's probably the only bad thing. But overall, it's a really nice figure. Really great paint job. The articulation is pretty good, and overall, it's a really decent figure. And if you haven't picked up the helmeted George, which I didn't, just get this figure. If you're not too sure about the head sculpt, it's not that bad really. It's pretty good actually. So overall, this figure is really awesome. I'll definitely recommend it if you're a Halo Reach fan or Halo fan. Then I'll recommend getting this figure. So anyway, I think that pretty much does it for this review, and hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll check you out later.